perform their jobs in hundreds of countries around the world. How do you make sure that as we're deploying these designs, and this is key to everything that we work with, so that it fits into your environment today and has the ability to grow as you grow. If you don't have this built into the upfront design, what it's going to do is it's going to end up costing you a lot more money in the long run, and it's going to reduce your capability of delivering services. This is the perfunctory router picture side. If you think about this, though, everything that we build in behind the scenes is all about scalability. It's all about security. How do I make sure that the environment that I deploy today provides that level of trust to my citizens and the level of security that's required so that as I expand this network from beginning to end, I have that level of security, same level of security that you demand inside your core network today. Integration of experts. These, we have experts in this room all over the place. It's a question of how do I bring the correct level of domain expertise to work on my application. We need to make sure that we're reaching out beyond our inside circle to get those experts and really bring them in. It will help us to mitigate the risk. It will help us to make sure that we're not building from scratch, but rather we're building off of the best of breed designs and strategies. And it will help us to integrate known and working methodologies. But again, it keeps coming back, and you've heard me say this multiple times. It's about how do I make this thing work? From a political standpoint, it really comes down, how do I plan my network for success? How do I make sure that, I tell the public what I'm going to do, and how do I make sure that I'm going to do that? Okay? And it really is almost that simple. And that's really, having the right plan, pulling it together, making sure that it's got the level of growth opportunity and scalability. And at the end, it's got to serve to be, help you be a better government, okay? How do you make sure that your municipal workers get their jobs done quicker from an inspection standpoint, a permitting standpoint? How do I drive safety with gunshot indicators, with video surveillance, with access to information in the police car so the cop can get his job done faster? Making a better business environment so that more people want to move into your community because it's a better place to live. They get their services when they need it, and the citizens get what they need in order to move it forward. So, one example, Dublin, Ohio. They had a very specific need. Dublin, Ohio makes its reputation on being a high quality of life place to live. Okay? They've got 3,000 businesses in the community. They were looking at an antiquated system that they needed to move forward. They needed more information for the cops to be able to do their jobs. They were also looking at economic development. And they wanted to create growth, utilizing locally owned companies. They created a partnership where they reached out to a local service provider, tying it together with infrastructure, created mobile access for the first responders and the field workers so that they could do their job. They created a high-speed access environment so that the police officers and the inspectors could get the information that they needed when they needed it. And they created a wireless access control also for local businesses. Interesting model. It has improved the overall efficiency, it has enabled new tools, and it's creating a substantially reduced cost of ownership because they built it out with scalability in mind. But just again to tie it back and really in closing, it's about the different components of the strategy. Okay, free as a model, building it out only based on one level of capability, which could be broadband access, social inclusion, doesn't fully melt out the model. If you think about it from a standpoint of how do we really create that environment with the correct, we call them anchor tenants. I think it's really skin in the game is what it comes down to. How do we make sure that we're really focused on the applications that are going to change the community, whatever the technology ends up being to reach that last mile? And how do we do it with the correct level of services? Pulling that combination of products together and pulling that level of business solutions, that's going to be the thing that helps drive that win-win partnership. So as you take a look step by step, municipal wireless is a very viable market. It is based on value, okay? And the thing that creates value is multi-use. The thing that creates multi-use is all about applications. I make the point. Applications are king, solutions are the key. full solutions with the services model, et cetera. And it's about how do I build an architecture that has a win-win model for longer-term viability. I will encourage you always, think about scalability, think about security. You know, those are the key pieces that are going to help you be successful. And you know, at the end of the day, it's all about long-term success. So, thank you very much.